What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me for another video where today we're going to talk a little bit about a trade that I think we can make. And I talked about this a little bit last week, and there were some mixed reviews. Some people said it was would be good to bring him in. Some people didn't like it. Some people thought it'd be pointless because Richardson was the quarterback. And I actually recorded this video yesterday and meant to drop it this morning, ran out of time, fell asleep while working on it, just didn't have time to put it out today. Kind of glad that ended up happening because the Colts sit Anthony Richardson in favor of Joe Flacco, and putting Joe Flacco in is going to be better for our receivers, right? And when you look at it, we talked last week about the possibility of the Colts trading for David Njoku, right? There was the report out there, and who knows if it was accurate or not, but saying that David Njoku was linked to the Colts, and maybe the Colts more so linked to having interest in David Njoku. And we know, I thought somebody in the last David Njoku video, one of the comments said, and reminded me that the Colts wanted Brock Bowers. There were a lot of reports that the Colts wanted Brock Bowers. There was even the, Chris Ballard press conference where he was vague. He wouldn't say for sure, but he was vague about the possibility and asked about, did you want to trade up to go get Brock Bowers? We tried, I think the report was that we tried to trade up to 9 to go get Brock Bowers, where the Bears ended up picking, and Brock Bowers goes 2 picks before the Colts could pick, right? Raiders take him at 13, and we get Latu, which is great, I think, for the future. Now, obviously, we need a defensive coordinator that's actually going to play his best 11 players on defense, including Latu. But nonetheless, we did pick Latu, and that should be good for us in the future. And for what it is, right? You have Joe Flacco coming into the fold now, and there's no telling how long he's going to be the starter for us. But I just think bring David Njoku in, the kind of playmaker that he is, he's somebody that would instantly come in and make us more dynamic. Right. And this guy, he missed a little bit of time. Yeah, I think he missed 3 or 4 games this season. And even with that, right, the Colts tight ends as a room, the 4 tight ends that the Colts play have a combined 17 catches for 221 yards this year. And I don't have the stats in front of me right now. I believe David Njoku had 25 catches for 226 yards. So basically the same amount of yards, some more catches, but it's one guy. One guy. That's all we wanted here as Colts fan. I mean, I guess I don't know about you guys. I don't want to speak for you guys. For me, all I've wanted is for one of these tight ends, whether it's Kylan Granson, who I've defended so hard over the years and just hasn't produced, Drew Ogletree, who's just not doing enough, Mo Alley Cox, who's a good blocker, but doesn't do enough in the passing game. Jelani Woods stays hurt. We're not using Will Mallory for some reason. I just think David Njoku is the best of both worlds. He's a big physical tight end, somebody who can road grade a defensive end if you really need him to. When you're talking about double teams with the tackle, somebody that's great to have in that situation, but also what he can do with the ball in his hands, what he can do vertically down the field, the safety blanket that he can be for a quarterback. And I think with Joe Flacco coming in, it turns this whole conversation, because just like you guys, right, if you have a quarterback that completes anywhere between 10 and 12 passes a game, you don't really want to trade for a pass catcher because it doesn't really matter. Your receivers that you have, we have one of the better wide receiver rooms in the NFL, and we can't even get our guys the ball on a consistent. Now, they have to catch it. Okay, there is a video on Twitter that I saw just a little while ago, like of all the passes Anthony Richardson had. I mean, the drops, the amount of passes that hit receivers in the hands, like the team around the quarterback has to be better. But for all intents and purposes, we have a quarterback that's going to be able to complete more passes, is going to be able to get the ball in the hands of these playmakers, and one of those guys could be David Njoku. Now, are we competing for a Super Bowl? Probably not. Chiefs and Ravens are going all out, continuing to upgrade their teams even today, where the Ravens went and got wide receiver Deontay Johnson from the Panthers. Thanks to the support on this channel, we now have our first partnership with Green Gridiron. And as you can see here on the site, you can go through, they have helmets for both pro and college. You can go through, look at helmets and build your own. You can go through and get mini helmets and be able to get your own mini helmet and build it the way you want. Now, you can also go ahead and search, as we do here, Colts Helmets, looking through the Colts Helmets, and they have all the different options, many different options of speed helmet, different Rydell's, regular helmets. They also have the new black helmets that the Colts wear for the Indiana Knights jerseys, and there's also this other style that is black with the blue horseshoe on it, matte black, looks really good. Whether you want something for yourself or for somebody you love, you can get it on Green Gridiron. Okay, and the one that I got, I started with a mini helmet, and this one coming with the visor on it. And I might even one day go ahead and buy a blue face mask just to put on it. Who knows? I might customize this thing myself, get a different chin strap. You can get chin straps, whatever you want. You can build it how you want it. And getting one of these helmets, this thing looks sick. I know it's the mini version. You're used to seeing this one. We're going to kick this one off, and we'll probably still have that one in the videos. But Green Gridiron, that is the new partnership on the channel. Again, I appreciate you guys so much for all the support that you guys show here. Obviously, Lion Syndicate, Derek over there helping out get the partnership here. He's a leader of the syndicate. But here we have, again, really nice helmet. Give you guys a good view here of this. The blue visor on the front. I mean, this thing is sick, man. Really enjoy this. I plan to get more as time goes on through Green Gridiron. Hope to be able to do a giveaway at some point for Green Gridiron. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Have those notifications turned on. Again, I appreciate you guys so much for all your continued support. Now, let's get back to the video. Overall, does David Njoku make us contender this year? No, but David Njoku makes us better. And I think David Njoku coming to the Colts would solve a lot of the problems that we've talked about. When you're talking about building, and he's like 28 years old. I'm not saying he's going to be here for 10 years, but you bring David Njoku in, and for the foreseeable future, we have David Njoku here making plays. We don't have to go into every season questioning, are one of the tight ends going to step up? Are one of these guys finally going to be the guy that we'd hoped that they were going to be? And so bringing David Njoku in would solve a lot of those problems. The production that he would give us is more than anything any of our tight ends give us now. And I just think, again, I'm re-recording this video because I think the conversation changes from one quarterback to the next. And I think with Joe Flacco in there, giving him David Njoku, who, if you look at his connection with David Njoku, right? Flacco played for the Browns. David Njoku had the best year of his career last year, largely because Joe Flacco came in and ended up playing for the Browns there at the end of the season, and he played pretty freaking well, right? Throw a bunch of touchdowns. He also threw some boneheaded interceptions, but Joe Flacco can still get the ball down the field. We've seen he's okay with using Josh Downs. He uses Josh Downs a lot. He can still get the ball downfield to Alec Pierce. He can get the ball to Pittman in all the different ways he needs to. Right, A.D. Mitchell he gets open all the time. Joe Flacco can get the ball in his hands right now. Joe Flacco has missed a couple passes to A.D. Mitchell the same way Anthony Richardson has, but nonetheless, I think from just a passing part, like a passing quarterback perspective, we all feel better with Joe Flacco in that position right now. So while AR is out, whether it's one game, whether it's up to the bye week, or whether it's for the rest of the season, you have Joe Flacco. Well, go get him a guy that he knows and he's comfortable with, a guy that he, could have 1 week of practice with, go into a game and start to connect with, right? And I think that's a move we should certainly think about making. Of course, I want to know what you guys think, right? We talked about this last week, and Anthony Richardson was a starter. Now that Joe Flacco's a starter, how do we feel about getting David Njoku before the trade deadline, which is a week from today? Next Tuesday, 4 o'clock, trade deadline hits. We've had these guys that we've hoped would be good. None of them have stepped up to be the guy. David Njoku could. So what do you think we should do? And of course, I guess the question is, if we get David Njoku, who do we drop? And in my opinion, you would probably be in a situation where, I don't know, in my opinion, I guess they'd probably have Will Mallory go to the practice squad. I guess you'd have to cut Will Mallory for that to be the case. So maybe, really Kylan Granson. That's who I would think. I don't know if the team would do that. We're probably not re-signing Kylan anyway. So just go ahead release him, let him go somewhere else if somebody wants to pick him up. But that would be what I would do. The replacement, if you bring David Njoku in, go ahead and get rid of Granson since he's going to be gone anyways. All right, this is his 4th season with the Colts. He has 1 touchdown. So that's what I would do. Let me know what you guys would do. Should we go get David Njoku? Do you think it's a good move if we were able to go do that? Because seemingly we'd give up a 6th round pick. All these great players are going for 6th round picks. It's not like we'd have to give up a lot, and we could rework his contract. I don't think there's any guaranteed money. So, I know somebody talked about the cap hit being $24 million. You could rework the contract. That's what's going to be expected for anybody that's trading for David Njoku. Would need to rework the contract. He's going to want more money after this season, and he's a good enough player that we should figure it out. So that's my thoughts. You let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and of course, make sure you subscribe with notifications on so you continue to get notified anytime we have any of these videos coming out. Of course, I appreciate you stopping by for another video. And as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.